Welcome. This is Barry Jones from the Angel School, and we're here for our weekly angel reading for February the 21st through the 27th, 2022. So, before we begin, I'd just like to take a moment to welcome everyone who's returning this week and perhaps anyone who might also be new to the channel and experiencing um, the information and guidance from these readings for your initial interaction. And so today I'm going to just sort of highlight a few things. Again, my the angels have asked me to sort of um, provide a offer for my angel readings, which will now be my first time promotional offer. It's on my um, website, theangelschool.com/services, and there's a link below. If you're having a reading with me, no matter if you've been a client before, for the first time this year, that special offer will be available to you for the first time reading that you have with me this year. Okay, so that's available to everybody and not just new clients. And also, I'm going to be making some changes when I did an LLC for the Angel School and discovered that I couldn't use the word school in the state of New York or academy or anything like it. So um, the new name is going to be Angelic Wisdom. And I'll probably be creating, if I can't change this channel's name, I'll probably have to create a new channel. And hopefully you'll all be able to journey with me there, and just kind of making you aware of it at this point, and so that when it actually does happen, you'll have heard it enough. Um, Also, oh, I forgot to just put some things on mute here. So let me do that. Um, and also, I've been mentioning um, that I'm planning this year some workshops of information that's been coming through from the Lemurians and the Mer people, and there's a profound connection there. And I may do something impromptu. I'm not quite sure. This business aspect has really been a little bit out of my depth, and just sort of um, dragging, creating a lag in my steps um, for for the missions that I feel called to do. That is just what to do, what I know how to do. So I may um, do something very impromptu and just might accept donations, or I may get it get try to get things organized and then try to set up something um, on a Zoom. But to share some of the information that's coming through, the Lemurians are um, basically a oneness consciousness, and so they're bringing through all of this information in terms of oneness and trying. And this is all in preparation for the new earth, in terms of the golden age and the ascension process. So there's a lot of beautiful things that I'm receiving and definitely want to share with you, and formal workshops and classes that my intention is to have some um, Zooms and sort of different classes on this information as it's been sort of channeled to me to share with you. So yeah, get more into that, but just letting you know that that's what's going on right now, and why I'm trying to get some of my time and to utilize towards the creating those things. Um, so just kind of bear with me over the next months until I kind of get all of this solidified, and then I can probably sort of resume certain things that I was doing. All right, so let's take this moment and take a deep breath. And just connect in with your I am presence. And just know that as you do this, the intention will automatically, easily connect you in. And you might even be aware that when you take this breath, that maybe your heartbeat sort of becomes a little irregular, or you're breathing. And that's just, or you might feel a surge of energy. And that's just an adjustment as you are acclimating to the frequencies of higher consciousness. So just think about it like sort of when you go into the high altitudes on an airplane journey, and that adjustment of maybe air pressure, or so you might receive these adjustments um, in unique ways to each and every one of you that is listening. But just be aware. Sometimes you're like, I don't know if I feel things, and it's those subtle things that you want to pay attention to. And Archangel Michael is just letting you know that he is standing beside you, and Archangel Raphael as well. And they are infusing you with the light codes that will align you with your I am presence and that entire bandwidth of consciousness. So just really focus within your heart, and they're showing me a baby sort of wrapped with a little sort of head, and so many beings are holding up the baby. And this is symbolic of you in some way. It might be literal for someone, but this is symbolic in that they're reconnecting you with your inner truth, your divine inheritance. And it also indicates that you're going through a fascinating period of rebirth, or as if you're giving birth to new ideas, new realities. And sometimes it's not easy to see that we're doing that we're giving birth to new realities. But you're doing this constantly. And it's that sometimes we don't slow down enough in order to notice them. But I feel like this is one that you can't help but notice. And they show the baby sort of growing. And so they give me a sense of an expansion, like you're experiencing some kind of incredible expansion and growing pains. And you might be going through growing pains at this time. But that your entire light family is supporting you and holding you up through this incredible growth. And for many of you, this is, you might find that your spiritual development, you're really becoming more mature in maybe some of the ways that you respond, right? And some of the things that you're creating from within. Maybe I think they wrote cause, so that just gives me a sense of the inner reality. The effect would be the outer reality, and that you might be experiencing this within. and some of the suggestions that you might be receiving from your angels and guides. This is an important year, which they were sort of musing with me about as I woke up this morning. This is an important year as it reminded me of the number for the year 2022 equals to 6. And as I mentioned, this is in tarot the Lover's card. And the Lover's card is about, making important decisions that are weighed by the heart. So basically, this is about making the choices that follow your heart. And this is something that we've heard, because the heart is so important. This is our power, and and when we make decisions that honor our heart, that follows the truth in our hearts, then we are really on our path. We're really on our ascension path. We've found our purpose. And even if you don't have a sense of what that is, just following what's in your heart is placing you on that path of purpose. Your passions come out of that enormous purpose that you're seeking. So if you are passionate about something, if you feel it so deeply burning within you that it's consuming, and also that it provides great inspiration and hope. So a purpose, and I want you to just think about this in the most general terms. A purpose that just fuels your heart, that gives you, that inspires you, that gives you hope, that all of a sudden changes your perception of what is, the reality that you're experiencing. It could be, in your interpretation, the worst of times, the darkest of times. But when something comes into your heart, and what they're saying is, what you're perceiving is just congestion. I think I know what they mean, because we're just holding it back. We're holding back when we continue to give so much attention to the effects of the outer reality, that we are looking for the effects to change in order to indicate the green light. And you look for purpose in it, and you find none, and you're confused. Wonder why? Wonder why? Because you're forgetting the power of cause. That purpose within you, that fire within you, has the ability to inspire hope, a transformation in that confusion, in the results that you're seeing, that keep giving you feedback that there's no hope, there's no change, because the outer reality is waiting for you to make a change. And first, that change happens on a level of perception, outlook, and it is assisted and supported by the heart's ability to inspire and to offer hope to a reality. This is that moment when you see things differently. This is when in your heart there are alternatives. In the most broadest and generalist of terms, this is now your purpose for that moment. This is the purpose that you need to follow in order for the outer reality to begin the process of change. But the change has already happened, and you are fully aware of it because you feel it immensely. You feel joy in the face of your misery. Where does one get the audacity? Where does one get the audacity to feel profound joy in the face of what is, that is, the misery that you keep, that has kept you stuck, that's kept staring you in the face and keeps telling you this is as good as it's going to get. So you better, right? You better just, get yourself a good seat. Get yourself a good seat and just wait it out. And then your inner being, that is the true reality. This is why I am, and they're having me to strongly advocate to you this point, that this is why. And this was an incredible paradigm shift for me when I really could feel it in my bones and acknowledge and embrace this, that the inner is our reality. Because what you are feeling is the signal of light that your higher self, your I am presence, and the universe has given to you out of that, all that time you were sitting there being miserable. Well, see, your I am presence is not lazy, and your I am presence is never stuck. So your outer reality, ego, is staying the same, and it won't budge, and it keeps giving you those really ugly looks every day, so that when you see people, you think they're giving you the look, or you're giving them the look, or whatever it is. And your higher self, your I am presence, is going, see, this is what she's wanting. Because the way you're focused, it's saying, okay, this is what they're wanting. And we need to create this because this is, oh, what a great idea. Oh yeah, this will be perfect for, And then they got it all done. And then you start to really feel miserable. The moment you feel miserable is because it's already been done. In those times when you're on your way to discovering your misery, when something scares you and then you don't know what to do with it, it's in those moments that they say, from all that negativity, they extract out of it all the positivity, your desires. And then they transmit those ideas into your imagination, waiting for you to grab hold of them, waiting for you to put down some of that misery, some of that lack attitude. Where's my stuff? Where's my soulmate? Where's my? While you're doing that, they're extracting from that what you deserve. And it just needs you to line up with it. And that's what your misery is for, to let you know that you are thinking and perceiving in complete contrast to what is. But that is to say, what your I am presence has already cultivated for you. And now they're sending you the signals, ideas, which most of the times we dismiss. Why? Because in the face of that misery that you're looking at every day, you say, that's not possible. And then you don't even know who you're saying it to. You just go, the idea comes, you go, that's not possible. How many times have you done that? And you want to ask, how do I hear my angels? How do I talk to my angels? There's the conversation right there. When is God speaking to me? There's a conversation right there. You just told him to go away. You're like, dismiss. You're like Amanda Priestley in the Devil Wears Prada. That's all. And you just did that to God, to your angels. That's all. Like, that's not good enough for me. I can't do that. That won't work. Nah. See? They're writing magical. Those conversations that you don't realize that it is a conversation, those are your magical moments. That's when the universe is sprinkling the inspiration and the hope right into the seeds of your mind and your heart. Now, I like this is a phrase that I've been writing in some of the writings you may have noticed, your mind's heart. Because the mind of your heart is the one that we're talking about. The ego has no access to it. But you've got to start first giving it space by acknowledging that voice and to stop dismissing things. You know, as a creative, you should never dismiss anything. You should embrace everything. It drives me crazy when I was in meetings and, sorry, my fellow colleagues, but, you know, we've been in meetings like teachers meeting, and you know people are just like immediately like, nope, that won't, no. Irritates me because we don't know what we can do. We may not get these ideas. They're going to come out in a way that's always appropriate for everyone involved, and that's what we don't also acknowledge. And we spend so much time being afraid of it. Is these wild ideas, these wild imaginings. And that the ego's like, no, it's ready. When you do that, no, oh, it'll never work. Because you got so much experience. But all you're doing is augmenting the no, the naysaying. You're augmenting it. And in order to have expansion and I'm just using this as a general term, the word as a general term or measurement, misery, the more that you keep shooing things away, like swatting flies away, like as if these imaginings are pests. The more that you keep doing that, the more that you allow yourself you actually contract into the misery that so you're going deeper into it rather than moving away from it. Because you think to yourself, whew, I just saved myself from that whole big idea and all that work. But you came here for that work. You came here to move through the process of creating what you are receiving, the purpose that you're here to manifest. You want to be a part of the process. That's the whole reason for the human experience. Oh, we could go on and on and on. But let's take a look at the card. And look at this. Archangel Hope. Archangel Hope is the twin flame of Archangel Gabriel, and her etheric retreat is over Malaysia. Oddly enough, the Lemurians indicate, and the Mer people, that the ancient civilization of Lemuria was in this area, in the South Pacific, or near Malaysia, approximately, where it sank. So yes, there was another two civilizations that were sort of scrapped because of things going wrong. But the idea here is that here this Archangel Hope brings that inspiration. And so the card says, look for a cosmic gift. Remember, you deserve it. And that's what we've been just talking about. We dismiss a lot of things because it's not because you're rigid and flexible or lack creativity. It's because you don't think you deserve it. You don't think that you're capable. You don't want to feel inferior to your own ideas, to your own purpose. And I'm going to tell you something. I don't care. Like, this business stuff makes me feel extremely inferior, extremely low. I have no concept on any level. But and what I'm telling you this is because there are going to be parts of it that you're going to feel this way, and you're going to be triggered, although the thing that you're trying to do is your gift, is your talent, and you have all the skill and ability to do it. But there there's always that element of challenge. But what is that element of challenge doing? And then that's the part where interpretation comes in the present moment. You can either interpret things based on your past, how you've perceived yourself, or you can interpret things in an alternative way, meaning you can look for the silver lining. And perhaps this challenge is helping me to work on that aspect of myself where I hold this sort of inferiority about so many skills outside of what I do. So, and that's a blessing because we didn't want to carry that into what I'm going to be doing, right? So we have to interpretation is a very powerful thing. It's sort of like performance anxiety. Well, the body knows that because you've been practicing something, right? The body knows that you need a certain amount of frequency for that. So the adrenaline ramps up to match frequency. So it's the same thing when you are channeling, or if you do readings, or you any kind of spiritual development. Your adrenaline works as sort of the RAM management. I don't know if that's correct, but it sounds good. It acts as sort of the RAM management for the frequency that you need, okay, to help you to connect into those dimensions. So your body has its own regulation to help you to do that bit of traveling. In the performance, or if you're doing readings and you start getting a performance anxiety, that's interpretation. Interpretation on a past experience, something that didn't go well, and it can have nothing to do with this, but it's just something else sort of related. It's performance, and you now, hold this inferiority that you're going to fail, or that you're just not good enough to this. And so you put yourself through that. Or you could focus in the present, in the purpose that was given to you, which would not have been given to you if you were not fully qualified, and embrace that my frequency is amplifying itself, so that on that level of consciousness and dimension, I am tuned in and tapped into all the data that I need to transmit the frequency or the codes of light that will help me to create, manifest this, or to impart it or express it. So simply, you can either think that my body is nervous or my body is getting excited. Okay? But Archangel Hope is going to come in, and she's going to sprinkle that information, those gifts, and it could be in all kinds of forms. Your heart could be inspired to open up to someone, a person that you're working with, that you find a connection and you are able to work on a project together. Or it could be romantic, or it might be an idea that shifts you out of this general measurement of misery that you're in. Okay? The other thing about the number 6, which we always just talked about the Lover's card, is that it's also in numerology about cooperation and collaboration, harmony. So that as we're following our hearts, this year we're building a web of love, oneness. So in your actions this year, you are thinking in terms of we. How can we build a better future? How can we work together for the greater good. This is the conquest that is a part of your purpose, your individual seeking of purpose. Because this is an opportunity for us in this year to create unity. And although you say, well, my little bit is not changing the world much, remember, stop worrying about the outer reality and focus on what you're feeling powerfully. Because this sends a strong beam of light that taps into all levels of consciousness and influences the spiritual algorithm. And that algorithm disperses throughout all the individual news feeds of consciousness for each individual. And they read them just like you read your social media apps, but it's light data, inspiration, hope, new ideas, new possibilities, new opportunities. And if you, one of my teachers, Kim Sear, always said the highest vibration rules the day. So if you feel without distraction and wavering and allow yourself to hold on to that vibrant pulse of passionate information, light, because that's what it really is, and you hold it long enough and you send it out, this will become viral in those spiritual algorithms. And those who are ready will pick it up. And you don't need a lot for it to really start to manifest in the various places around the globe. Because that we're talking like we have consciousness, this collective consciousness is our internet. This is what I call the soul technology. And we're all tuned into that collective consciousness on different levels of it. There's higher, and there's lower, and there's that just general mid-ground. So when you worry about whether or not things are going to be able to become, don't try to do it from the outer, work from the inner. And then you'll notice, I've seen ideas that I've shared, and then I've seen them pop up in another country, on YouTube. So I'm telling you that if you're open, if you take your head out of the sand and you really look for evidence from the measurement of what you're feeling inwardly, soon enough it will show itself to you. But if you're saying, man, this is what is out here, and this is impossible, and I could probably only do this, you'll be waiting a very long time. All right, so we're really far into time, so let's go ahead and flip the pages and see what's going on here. So we have the Emperor for the beginning of the week. And this is a message of standing in your power. That's what I'm hearing. This week it's important for you to stand in your power and your authority. You are the influencer of the patterns of light. And so it's important for you to maintain the reverence of your sovereignty. Because if you do this, you will automatically have influence. That means whatever passes through you as purpose, as profound passion, will automatically have incredible potential to influence the spiritual algorithms. And I would encourage you, instead of trying to always reach out into the outer reality and be busily trying to rearrange and reorder things out of a reaction of being triggered by, past baggage. This is powerlessness. This is weakness. It makes you feel exhausted because you're working with 1/10 of what you really have. When you move, when your actions come out of the heart, out of that inspiration, out of the hope, you move mountains. Even if you don't see the mountain move, but you move the essence within the mountain. You move the essence within the hearts of the people. Even if their actions do not shift, you have shifted them within. Because why? You can feel it. Like I can feel it when I'm talking to you. And I can't even see you every week. But I can feel the impact. Because I'm believing wholeheartedly in what I am saying. And I know it's real because much of it I didn't even know until the moment I hear it come out of my mouth to you, or in the thoughts that are coalescing together before I say it to you, that is coming from the universe, from the spirit of life itself. You'll do more to build a better world and the new earth if you first retain and respect the reverence of your sovereignty. That is to say, your light, your influence. Your essence is an influencer. It is a direct influencer. This trying to move the mountains physically, you're exhausting energy when you can just be the example or speak the words that create the transformation or that orchestrate it. Or just be the profound compassion, leader, protector that makes people feel extreme trust in you and your ideas and words. Don't give away your power. And here we have the Chariot. And there's the thing I'm drawn to when I look at this Chariot, and you see the colors are the same. And it's very earthy soil, like rich soil, sort of, it's like soil and golden light, right? So that it gives a sense that something's going to come to fruition out of the earth, that we're going to start to see almost like a feeling of a springtime, right? Where we just see the, what do they call? Oh, goodness. The little sprouts of green coming through the earth. But this is golden energy. Golden energy. And the solar plexus is golden. So something around with our power, our perception of power is shifting. But with the Chariot card, we see these two different yin yang, kind of these opposing ideals, and that the charioteer is in control of the reins of that, but he has to remain centered and focused. It's the contrast that gives us direction. It's how like I was explaining before, the universe doesn't judge what you are experiencing or how you do what you do, because they are extrapolating from that. And so the charioteer is doing that, as if the two horses are having a different conversation. And like in a meeting, you could be in a meeting this week, and I just saw the word hope. And you might get upset because it's always chaotic. But if you listen to the opposing views, you can extrapolate the mission, the goal, the agenda, I'm trying to think of the word. You probably can hear it too. The solution that will draw everyone together, that will create unity, something that everybody can agree on. So don't be afraid of the chaos. There's opportunity for hope and joy to come out of it if you maintain your sovereignty and listen and make order out of chaos. Make order out of chaos. And then you'll be able to move forward. You might have to do this for a group or for yourself. And then we have the Eight of Water. And this just indicates it's time to move on. And in a sense, there's certain things, emotional stuff, that we just need to let go of. We need to let go of that stuff. We need to let go of the interpretation most profoundly, as you've heard me now kind of speak about that. Hopefully it was, the point was able to get across. And when you do that, you open yourself up to the joy that comes in the Nine of Cups. You open yourself up to wishes fulfilled. When you find that alternative, like when we're talking about, adrenaline and am I nervous or am I excited? That kind of thing. You release yourself. And you release the others around you. You release the way you see other people. You release that whole drama in your head of misery and frustration. All right, let's take a look at the card I've already pulled from the bottom of the deck. And another 8. And one part of me says, oh, this takes practice, right? This is something that we're going to have to really work on and work at, to practice this, practice working for harmony. So when you see chaos this week in any way, shape, or form, whether it's for yourself in a personal way or within a group context, but this 6 number really has a lot to do with that community aspect and communication as well. So when you see this, let your attention focus on ways to create harmony, cooperation, and collaboration. Collaboration, it'll be interesting because you find a way to put people together who work well together in order to fulfill the purpose. Finding people who have commonalities that will be able to help move things forward. I don't know why I just saw the word compensation. And the only thing I can think of is what they mean by that. Is some of you may be even struggling with your misery is coming because you can't acknowledge or accept or embrace that you need to be compensated for what you do. Maybe because you don't see it. So your purpose, you have so much fun. It's so natural to you. It's like, well, why should anybody pay me for that? But those are the reasons why they should, because compensation, because of exchange of energy. And people need some way to validate the experience that they are receiving. And by being able to compensate you for it, they feel it makes an impact on them. And one of importance. It's almost like the compensation on their end is the value that they pay for the value of what they received that was intuitively guided. They knew that this is something they should do. Let's say if they pay you to do your reading, and then they feel like when they paid it's like they've committed themselves to whatever awareness they're going to receive, or whatever solutions or answers, the clarity they receive. That's the word they're writing. That this was worth it to do this for themselves. And so don't take that away from people, but practice how to shift to create harmony, and cooperation and collaboration this week. All right, so I send you lots of love and angel blessings as we finish on 4422. Have faith and know that your angels are surrounding you. And have a beautiful week. God bless you.